The smell, it's awful and familiar. Don't be naive. Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency, that faintly cloying sweetness. Only death smells like that. Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. The signs of decaying meat. It announces itself from 24 meters away. A warning, a memento mori. The lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his nose. There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash bin. 2 empty bottles of Tallulah vodka and a can of black potent porter is all you find. No, there's more in there. Livis strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up. They seem unhygienic.
A tragedy.
Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads Red Astra. Red Astra is the black market version of Astra cigarettes, known for their high tar content. You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads, "Sheesh, it's no older than a day or two. No mold yet." It's hard to concentrate in the smell. A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there.
Hold on. Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days, no longer. We need to investigate.
Another dead body. This is your job. Steel yourself. Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe. He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. The leather jacket suits him well. It must be custom made. A cool leather jacket with a bolt of blue? Oh no, this sounds terribly familiar. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into 2. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole. A bad fall. It might have been dark outside. This place is a minefield in the dark. His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his mustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age approximately 50 to 60 years. There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. Be very, very careful where you step here. A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your This is what killed him.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you? Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was the cause of the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. You see waves churning below. Something cracks beneath your feet. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would have never found him. A .75 liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing.
Tear all around us.
Rubowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall. The blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum too. Confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is there. Solidified on his lower rear teeth.
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario, even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here. But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
A dead working class man with a bottle in his hand? Don't deceive yourself. You know who this is.
The woman you met at the book stand? Why do you think it's her husband?
Because it's the most working class death you've ever seen.
The bright blue lining? Well, he's definitely someone's husband. Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive. What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the box.
Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab.
Oh yes. Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure. No, I don't see anything that points in that direction.
Agreed. If this somehow converges late,
They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean. It does seem to be a pretty straightforward. From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle. A field autopsy isn't necessary if the cause of death doesn't appear to be criminal, and this looks like a simple accident to me. I'd say we should just write down head trauma in the autopsy report and leave it at that. It would save us at least 2 hours of unnecessary work. Maybe, but we don't really have much time or resources to spare. The guys at processing will take care of the rest. Alright. The station is going to want details, however. Let's examine that library card you found on the man's body, see if it has any clues. Then...
The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central General Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mejean, expires July 53. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased, or whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinting Curve by M. Theobald. A library stamp indicates that most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 552.
We already decided to let the station handle this case, so there's no need for us to call the library. Good. We've examined the library card. That should be enough for our colleagues.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
It's military, a service depot of some sort. The washerwoman mentioned a depot at the coast. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay. This might be it.
It's the ledger you found in the trash, a cabbage of papers hanging from the board. Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open. Inside, you see two ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. The words just crossed your mind somehow. Who do you think? It's slightly, ever so. Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood. A minute or so of mauling away at the lock has led to no such.
I'm not as sturdy as you are. I have even less leverage.
The doors remain unchanged, closed with a padlock. A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. There's a bitter, caustic taste on the tip of your tongue as you look at the handset.
Hello, mister. Bye.
You hold in your hand the colourful primer. The title reads, "A Primer for Small Kids." There's a bear involved. This book will show you the score, get you oriented with those basic concepts you appear to be hazy on. The anthropomorphic bear will give you the lowdown of your life. The alphabet. Every page has one word designating one letter of the alphabet with a faded illustration. Most of them are scientific and cultural principles. It goes as follows. A is for azimuth. B is for Boreas. C is for cosine. D is for diamite. E is for ellipse. F is for phlogiston. G is for gamete. H is for homeboy. I is for econ. J is for Eura. K is for collapse. L is for laudanum. M is for myriad. N is for nadir. O is for aureole. P is for perihelion. Q is for quasar. R is for rhododendron. S is for sinus. T is for tricolor. U is for ultra. V is for vector. W is for Wahrheit. X is for xylophone. Y is for Ustava. Z is for zenith. That's it. You know the alphabet now.
Good. I also know the alphabet.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer? Oh, that's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea? This calls for a funeral, if you ask me. Aye. Feels deserved, don't you think? Falling in the line of duty like that and all. Why odd? Our things are a part of our life world. They're made with our human sweat and they share human history. We should care about them as we care about humans. To some extent, at least.
Life world? Someone's been reading up on last century Gotwaldian philosophers. Play it cool now.
Oh yeah? You won't even be able to get it out of the water before early June. And where are you going to bury it? Who to invite? What music to play at the wake? Take it from someone who's been through a few funerals. It's easiest to just leave them there and let nature take care of it.
That's all we have time for right now anyway. Come back here in June and see how you feel about it then. It's not like it's going anywhere. Yes, that is a pity. But for now, let's focus on the things we do get to do. Like the murder investigation, for example.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder.
You can revisit the bench.
A drop in temperature, an easy flow of air, an empty street. Before you, a thoroughfare unjammed with lorries. No more drivers smoking on hitch steps. Chemically sweetened. Across the road, a forgotten bus stop. Corrosion has opened a hole in its roof. An elm tree watches over. The road is smooth and motley. Craters filled with a black asphalt. The asphalt, first laid, is grey already. A row of tenements are under construction in the distance. A tub warm with water, white with soap. A man bathes while radio waves transmit the lottery numbers. 4, 18, 21, 4, 1. A modern washing machine rattles a drawer full of silverware. Number 312D. Young girls used to come here huddled up, hoping for more warmth than their thin coats give them. The bus took them to school. It has not run for 8 years. There were not enough girls to sustain its cost. Craters pocked the surface. Children played in them until heavy trucks full of black pitch rolled in. The landowners have filled the craters with money. It is a vital artery of the flow of trade. There's one bump on the road. A dead dog lies flat about 200 paces away. right at the turn. Tragedy comes from the wheels of a fast RCM vehicle hurrying to work. The cold washes over you. The sound of the sea has grown distant. The wind moves the aerosol. A detective stands behind the boom barrier. A breeze moves a curl of his hair. The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't look like he knows what that means.
Our tenant, the policeman.
Typical Martinez streetlight. The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito, bullet holes, and
Other than kicking,
you drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft thud on what sounds like about a week's worth of mail as collected in there. They'll empty this very soon. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug Everard. You know he's going to play you.
alright, let's go back to Everard. If we don't mention anything to him, he won't know before it's too late.
Hello again, sir.
Hello again, esteemed.
The sight of bullet holes stirs something in you, making you forget the lieutenant's surname.
Where? There? Those are old. These bullets were fired during the Revolution, over half a century ago. They do not warrant investigation. Not much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it.
Looking for something odd?
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the... You see 2, maybe 3 bushes grown into a single thicket over a period of circa 50 years. It takes time for a hedge like that to form. There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches, light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket, hanging from it, a bronze key. Someone hid the key in the bush and attached the yellow ribbon to make it easier to find. It's close enough to the latch up there. One can slide it open and just take it. Surely not a coincidence.
Huh?
I don't know about that. I'm comfortable here. Don't think any sliding would really help right now.
Sorry, fucko. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. Good fucking luck with that.
I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes.
With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch and slides it across the table to you. The key is brass. Workshop spare is etched into its bow. The old man closes the window and sits back down in silence.
Come on, man. We were just having some fun.
I'm tired of listening to your shit.
It could open the door in the kitchen. The blue door.
It's worth a try.
Don't thank me. I don't give 2 shits about your key. Didn't even know it was there. Boys.
No idea.
Never even seen it.
You see a heavy... The key fits the dimple lock. The darkness before you smells like engine good. All these mesmerizing machines, just waiting to be plugged back in and played. Feels like it might jump back to life any moment, the lights illuminating the white-robed woman.
Some kind of inane pinball theme, probably related to Messina.
Diora was one of the 3 crown cities of the DeLorean era, on the Muindi Isola, the others being Ria Silvia and Advesperasket. This theme is all about early airships and beautiful, sad, pearl-laden women. It's quite nice, actually. The lieutenant grimaces, looking at the machines.
You can't fire them up. They are broken. Only that one machine in the main hall works.
What a dumb name. Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines about now. Kim, Pinball, Kitsuragi. Exactly. That's what he's known as. His reputation precedes him.
So now he remembers. Fine, I'm Kim Pinball Kitsuragi, aka the Kimball. You remembered. Congratulations. No human being should. It is a game that requires no skill and a childlike affinity to flashing lights and to fantastic, science fiction. It is lame. I am not called Pinball. It was used to taunt me a long time ago, before I became a homicide detective. Fine. I was a juvenile police officer for over 15 years. It's how I started out in the RCM. Once I had to infiltrate a pinball ring, as you do when you're a juvie cop. Unbelievably. To do that, I needed to become a pinball champion. I trained for 9 months. The job was successful and I was moved out of the juvenile wing to homicide. End of story. That time is over now. I was already a 38-year-old man. It was unbecoming, as was playing pinball. It's best if you handle the juvenile delinquents. No. You're gonna call me Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Or, on rare occasions, Kim, because it's shorter. Let's go.
Over there, in the corner. Not just any pinball machine. This is the pinnacle of pinball. Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats. It's lit. You can't wait to get your hands on it. Lit, a phrase almost synonymous with the Insulindian pinball scene. Any pinball scene, really.
The pinball machine. Gordy's Goats, a classic. Ah, great.
Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats reads the golden lettering on top of the back box. There's a small column of text underneath. Get the game on, finger boy. Those flippers are ready. Above the painting of a mustached man climbing a hill, a column reads, inspired by the legend of Cornelius Gordy, taken on the world's tallest peak, Corpus Muindi. The Mesk legend holds that when the nation is in danger, the theme of the game is to explore Gordy's climb through the perspective of goats and to ascend to the top of the mountain in a time of trouble. The peak of the mountain is at the top of the playfield. All the balls have small goat icons on them and represent the goats, as areas around the playfield represent indeed. Think of them as balls. It takes a while to get into a rhythm, but pretty soon you're able to keep 3 goat-faced balls in play with relative ease. Go, go, finger boy.
I feel sorry for the gods. If they only knew the kind of guy old Cornelius really was. The kind of a guy who uses the word savages a lot when recounting his travels. A masked nationalist, an avid huntsman too. He was often photographed in his dining hall, surrounded by wall-mounted hunting traffic from every continent. He also hit his wife and kids. Other people's kids too. Sometimes, but you seem to be having fun.
Your game is definitely improving. The jolly goats are flying all over the board, and although a few plummet to their deaths, you're never left with less than 3. Suddenly, a special passage leading to the summit slides open at the top of the board. Maneuvering a goat board into a position for a perfect hit isn't easy. More fall to their deaths. But finally, the opportunity presents itself. One of them gets through. Tiny hammer shatters something inside the machine. Something glass. An ampoule? The words "pale rupture" light up on the speaker panel, and the machine starts filling with a thick, milky fog.
Congratulations. This is where the game ends. It's a cheap way of getting more money out of the players. A stupid, nihilistic finale.
There's so much fog, you can barely see anything. Some is actually leaking out of the machine, and one by one, your goats start slipping, disappearing into the milky nothingness. This can be navigated. The balls leave almost imperceptible disruptions in the fog. Use them to calculate where they hit next. You're down to your last goat, going mostly by sound. Eyes are useless at this point, but that goat is something special. 5 times you snatch him back from the jaws of death. You're in a perfectly balanced system where neither you nor the pal is able to get the upper hand. This could go on forever. How, if you can't even see it? The last goat plummets into the fog with almost suicidal glee. There goes nothing, finger boy. This small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing, smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. The maintenance card under the control panel reads, "Last maintenance, 10th July." There are large rectangular buttons, monter, descente, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken. A small steel plaque reads, "Halter 800. Halter is a Koningsteiner lift company who went out of business a long time ago."
That it does. I say, let's brave it. No, it was maintained in 88 of the previous century. No, I think the bureaucrats just forgot about this backroom elevator after the revolution. Seems like a small freight elevator for transporting machinery. For that, it's pretty quaint.
So this is where they brought 40 pinball machines to fix them up. The lieutenant looks around the dusty, crowded room, inspecting the tools on the shelf.
At some point, 20 years ago, 15 maybe, before pinball went out of vogue. Looks like it. I'm guessing Martinez North 22 used to be a pinball arcade before it became a hostel. There are machines left over.
A creak. Some dust falls off a shelf.
Downstairs in the hall, next to the main door. One of them even works. I've seen one of the artists bang away at it.
But then it went bankrupt. Your skin crawls from making the connection.
If that's true, then our cafeteria manager is not going to like it. We should tell him what we found up here, omitting that suspicion. He does not appear to be the kind of man who likes his establishment to be part of a neighborhood ghost story about bankruptcy.
Stupid superstition. But still, it would be interesting to see what the cafeteria manager... You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new. Three weeks maximum from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too.
This is so good it makes him forget the whole Kimball.
This isn't bad at all. It was a good idea to see where that door leads. Commendable work, bringing... It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route, behind Classia's room, in the recent weeks. This may prove to be significant.
Large prints, most likely made by Boots. The size is hard to determine. Soul could be bigger than Vamp. The soles have left the pattern, uniform, horizontal lines. One person has been here. They've gone back and forth. The tips point both ways. This print is unlike one left by a regular worker boot. It is not a brand sole with logos on it. It seems custom made or old-fashioned. Shoe size is 41 to 42, maybe 43. It could be a large-footed woman or a small to average-footed man. This is, unfortunately, the worst, most vague shoe size there is.
No, this little horizon between that and that. The size looks about the same, actually.
Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the work. You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere.
You can barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions here. The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious.
You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural there. Sensationally unnatural. The door is small but heavy looking. It's barred from the inside.
Unless we've veered off into a folded M dimension, I'm expecting to step out on the roof. We could ask Clasia about this route, see how she reacts.
Folded M dimension, a reference to the popular science fiction series In System. Look who's in a good mood suddenly and reads science fiction.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
She looks back. Time moves slowly. The triangles of her face rearranging into a weary smile. Don't worry. We will protect you from her beauty. We will consult you through the reefs and sounds of her persona. We will see through deceits. You are shielded. You are wise. You are advised. There are muscles on long white bones that line her limbs, just below the silver jumpsuit. Miss Oranje Disco Dancer, you want to put your hand on her back and feel it arch. Nothing, just time passing. Don't worry. Anything out of the ordinary and you would be notified. Air moves in your windpipe. Your heart beats. You're a detective. Get back to detecting. She presses her elbows against her waist and slowly turns her head. Her hair brushes her shoulders, making a small hissing sound, almost imperceptible. The strange moment ends. It was brief, no longer than 2.2 seconds.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions. Not my favorite topic, but okay. How about we, sure. Right, sir. A bad memory.
The Republic of Oranje is a democratic nation on the Muindi Isola, north of here, over the sea and across the Pale. It is one of the 6 major Occidental nations to hold stake in the... They will make you into a fiscal colony. Divert...
Of lilacs and lightning, parks, glass, duraluminum. Redefort is a conference city. It's always autumn there.
What's so bad about that?
Nothing. The record, so official.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask.
Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told, I could really use the
One cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza.
He nods, and the sheep... Ooh, tough choice there.
That would be the giant of Kokonur. The giant lives in the most arid parts of the vast Kokonur desert in South Samara, casting a strange light across the barren wastes. A mirage or a psychogenous luminance. No one knows for sure. It is like an awful mountain appearing from below the horizon and expect the towering luminosity of Kokonur is a bad omen in local folklore. Some say it's a fata morgana, others...
Pooh. No animal can be that large.
That's what makes it so peculiar. A species surviving at the very limits of scientific law. The giant of Kokonur must be the largest animal, but there are limits, you see, to how large a metabolism an ecosystem can beget. Some say a gravity anomaly below the Kokonur desert might allow the creature to grow to the...
Gravity anomaly? Digging it. Digging this parasite.
Hey, you promised you'd only ask about one cryptid.
He nods approvingly.
Yes? What is it?
Again? I can't believe this shit.
There's something that binds you to him. Some kind of an outfit, maybe. A uniform. The police of animals, yes.
Well, I am interacting with the most dangerous animal of them all. You. Oh, you know me. Oh.
Can I help you? What is this thing?
I should have known Sylvie wouldn't accidentally break things here. Okay, this is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess? So, I don't know. Thank you. I'm gonna go with thank you.
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
It's not actually about that.
Got the 20 real? Then why are you wasting my time?
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
Promising race pupil returns. Rusting control panel. No screech of craned up. You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened, and as it's always been, it's impossible to open a container. You're back before you attempted. No reply. The knock between
I'm nearly back to talking all week. Sure, mister. Absolutely.
Mr. Dubois, I hear the meeting with Titus was a glowing success. That's such a relief. Titus, now, what can Everard Clare do? The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a future and proven to be a true man of the left. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun.
Well done, sire. By guile and deceit, you're in.
Harry, by now you should know I would never do anything tricky like that. However, if the construction noise and limited street access makes some people consider moving, well, let's just say there'll be freshly renovated buildings near the roundabout where those poor people can finally enjoy a significant uptick in quality of life. I'm talking real affordable workers' palaces.
He proudly spreads his hands to demonstrate the size of the palace.
So the village is doomed.
You were there, you saw the place, a wasteland, there's nothing left. But mark my words, officers, we are going to reset it. Reset! I have big plans for Martinez, and they do not include humans living in those pig sheds on the coast. That land will be used for municipal buildings and commerce. Harry, imagine a youth centre supermarket church complex, employing hundreds, no, thousands of people. The coast will be lit up with enterprise and life. All those ruins out there turned into low-income housing. Harry, enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, for God's sake. It's time to move on. I accept your salute, Harry. All of it is true. I've got the centre, I've got room for a retail complex, and in 4 years I'll get the church too. The wheels are turning, Harry. The wheels of progress. This post-war limbo, I won't stand for it. There are kids practically playing with their own feces out there. It cannot go on.
And then there will be a giant statue of him, towering above it all.
I'm not a symbolist, Harry. I'm a realist. My statue will be Martinez rebuilt. 5-story building complexes. Damn right I'm up to something, Harry. I'm gonna make the working man as rich as Joyce Messier. That...
A true flash of anger in him, as he thinks of her.
I did not, Harry. Although I am very, very glad he's dead. Why, a war, of course.
And what do you have to give?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war. Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1, and that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men, or even 50 men. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste. Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait, is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth. He doesn't swear.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance. Tits from her arsehole. It's a...
Actually, no, it's not.
Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. It's already happening. 2,372. Plus yours truly, of course.
2,373 is a sizable contingent for a labour organisation in Revachol.
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us. Harry, we've thought of
Clients would take a well-known multinational conglomerate over a local mobster any day.
We've been running back channel negotiations with all the major clients. I think the company will be unpleasantly surprised. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams.
That's drugs.
Drug trafficking.
Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Samaran Isola. You don't need to be colonialist about it. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities. So am I. The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics. Maybe
in bulk shipping, large volume column is a major buyer, a shark.
We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his Benefed and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off Risperazole.
Benefed is a children's cold medicine. Usually,
and the kids on the street can get speed and pyrrolidone.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned. But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share, and I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez.
He's basically admitting to it.
Oh, Harry, you've misunderstood. I have no drugs in my hands. It's all far removed from me, like some Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbour's turnover, just like the harbour is, but a small part of Martinez. Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. Young mothers who want to start businesses. Models who want to walk catwalks and steel welders who want to weld steel. I'm going to unite them all into one economic body. We're going to incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's going to be in on the wealth, and everyone's going to pull their weight. Thank you, Harry, thank you. You have no idea how much it means to me, because in many ways, you are that working man. We're way past specific union members now. This is the big time. We're talking about the future of Revachol here, Harry. You can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such matters. But I'm in big time mode,
There's something different about him now. He's more vibrant, more alive in his big time mode.
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me, but it had to be done. An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character, so watch out.
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy, the one he described as terrifying.
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild. Anyway. The neighbours of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debardeurs Union. Apparently...
Waving the gun around doesn't sound good. None of this does.
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly...
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like she's...
We might be looking at someone with a medical history here. Well, unstable is good, actually. She will be easier to disarm. No, wait. Actually, unstable is pretty bad.
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, back to the fun stuff.
She will be there from 20...
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
Great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM, and this has been so great. I'm always happy to... Very nice, Harry.
Mister, I'm not gonna bother you with a long greet. Mr. Evrat doesn't really want me to talk to people about union guys. But who did you want to talk about? Mr. Edgar is Mr. Evrat's brother. He looks a bit younger, he does, but a very smart fellow. Very smart fellow indeed. He's away on some union business. Not even in Revachol, they say. All kinds of places he visits. Him and his brother both do when they're on a vacation. Right now, it's Mr. Everett's turn to look after the union. But last year he spent a whole winter in South Africa. Left with the first autumn rains and didn't come back before the trees were green again.
South Safari. A lot of bulk chemical manufacturing going on there. A lot of cargo shipments being made too. The trade must have been lucrative for the trip to be so long.
He's a union man through and through. Good guy. He's very calm, laid back, doesn't do much, talks to Everett sometimes. Honestly, I don't know what he does for us, but it must be important because everybody likes him. Yes, they do. I think that's what he does. Whoa, he's really something. He doesn't talk much to me usually, but when he does, I don't really understand most of what he's saying. Once he said he's a dragon to this mob fellow who came picking a fight with some union men. Yeah, I think he really believes Jean-Luc was a dragon because he ran right off. Another time he almost killed another guy, but I shouldn't. Oh, Titus is a longshoreman through and through. He was born on a boat, they say. His veins are probably filled with salt water, I tell you. Nice friendly sort old Titus is.
He's probably one of those rare specimens who are born when two drunk seamen stumble on top of each other on the deck amidst a storm so violent it flings whales around.
I'd best not. I mean, I could, but I don't think Mr. Everett would like it very much. You better ask him yourself, mister. The night guard. Ooh, he's a peculiar fellow. He's the strong, silent type, you could say. We talk all the time, but I don't really know much about him. He plays petanque with my old human studies teacher, Mr. Martin. They lived on the same street their entire lives. Even dated the same girl on and off for as long as I can... Mr. Martin, yes. Don't really remember much about him. I was just a boy back then. Sure, mate.
Draw has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly. You're back before the cargo container. It's and as it's always been, it's impossible to open a This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door. The file cabinet stands steady as hundreds of and the same material. You already went through all of the drawers, so
The unpromising race pupil returns. Right to work!
the tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equal. A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and to the left of some croissants and juice bottles, you see a colorful display of cigarettes and
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. Here you go, mister. Is this about the question?
there it is, a brave little army in your pocket. The first smokes platoon. You picked the best one. This soldier is fat and succulent. Get a load of this rock and roll cop here. The lighter's dark green disposable plastic. Safety's off. In your case, the safety is always off. Repercussions? There's a high risk it will help you concentrate a bit. That much is true. Thick, warm smoke gets sucked down into your lungs. Immediately, you feel a warm nostalgia fill your head, body, and soul. A nostalgia for your
In the bottom right corner of
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal spray.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel. Okay, here. I hope.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. One moment. Can you please describe the body?
We suspect he might have been in a...
Any signs of violence? No field autopsy necessary.
You can hear her quickly type.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes? Any information on the library card? Good. You have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case or...
Assign it to someone else, Alice.
Great. I'll give it to your colleagues. You don't... That's all for now. 57.
In the cabin, you see...
Hey, was there something you needed? Another thing. Great. I love those. Oh, okay. Well, I did hear...
He's really holding it.
Okay, what is back there? There is no gaping maw.
But please do still tell me.
Yes, haha. What's... Ha! I knew it. I knew it. Were there any back there? In working order, I mean. No, I was just wondering if...
He was wondering about something business related. About how much money he could make off one.
No, but we could diversify the entertainment option. It wouldn't hurt to get a little life in here. Other than the hellish karaoke...
Yeah, those numbers he's adding up must be making good. He should still know. You have to be forewarned about these things.
What? Why would you say that?
So he knows of the doomed commercial area and its address. He's thought about this.
I've been working here for a long time, and that intercom has never been used by the Whirling. Does this look like part of a doomed commercial area? This for 14 years, man. That's how long I've worked here. I've kept it... Yeah. It's slowly growing on me again. It's beautiful, and even if it is part of the damn doomed commercial area. Yes, your police skills have delivered. I'm sure you'll get a commendation. Maybe even a promotion. Some real estate management company, they never come around here, just collect money from afar. Honestly, I think some money laundering might be involved. Well, it sure as hell wasn't the rich...
It was you?
You're surprised? What? It's a great name, I know. Cafeteria managers come up with great names too. Hail, Holy Queen, by the Ateniers. Hail, Holy Queen of the Sea. You're whirling in rags, you're vast and you're sad.
Good pick.
Whatever. Was there anything else? Because... What wall? I'll have it fixed at once. Thank you for letting me know. I assure you, the Whirling does not abide...
The color has drained from his face.
Absolutely not.
Well, he's definitely not lying.
Sir, he was only asking a question. It's his job and mine.
Yes, I absolutely will. Sorry, it's been a bit of a day. And now a hole in the wall. No, we don't hire staff like that. Thank you. I'll patch it up Why? No, fuck it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why these degenerates do what they do. I thought we had one good guest in the building. What's that supposed to mean? Fuck you, buddy. She's not my taste. Good thing she pays for her stuff on time. Oh, now, was there anything else? I have like 4... Yes?
Tremble. The time is now. Ta up time for the show. For Ta'ola, the hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. All will collapse on itself. The world will disappear into a single grain of blackness. All sound will be Ulogu Theodos, Xeno Zausin, Ipoli Osithien, Echondes Fronisin. Monday morning, the moment you arrived in this reality, are the first crack in the sheer face of God. From you, yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, even words will tumble. All will lose its meaning in the coming years. That is why you marked yourself. It's totally also a coping mechanism. So you should be. The world, the face of the woman fractures. There will be herd killing. We all become. Inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. Because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite. That's why there it is. You see a shabby little door.
What is this then? A tool shed?
Amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. Maybe the lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the... There's a good vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean.
No, I'm just a regular detective, thank you very much. Perhaps not. See that ladder?
Kuno's like Kuno's dad. You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did you get in? Shit. Get the fuck out.
You can't do that, Kuno.
Pigs can't displace. Can't do that How did you like it in there, pig old boy? Kuno's got a lot of cool shit. Oh, that. Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape. Yeah, Kuno plays on snuff radio, fucks pigs, that's where Kuno gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno shiz.
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old.
It's a vitamin pig. Don't you know anything?
You could use some.
Yeah, it's the mag. You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game. Kuno goes through like a tube.
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno! He's gonna use it against you, Kuno!
You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like you didn't do anything.
Fuck you, pig! Don't do mag! You're gonna owe...
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. The fuck about it? Just a couple of...
Yeah, you tell the faggot...
You're testing Kuno's...
Get lost,
Yeah, the kingdom of Kuno. Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno. Listen, Kuno could hook you up.
You'd have to be blind not to notice the giant white letters F-A-L-N running down his trouser leg.
Look, Kuno ain't seen shit lying around. Except for that you took away. Now you what?
The lieutenant remains silent, but his expression couldn't say, "I told you so," any louder.
Pig, these are foul modulars. Liquid fit, but believe it, you need this shit.
These could drastically improve your chances of survival. Coach physical instrument they will also make you into an idiot.
Alright, Piggo,
don't do business.
As you can see, Kuno and C don't trust you. Can't do business.
There's more to his distrust than being a pig.
The fuck? A mug in the trash? Is this about the fucking clothes again? Yeah.
Back out and take your...
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't fuck...
The trash containers. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. The container sounds a muffled gong.
Was there something you needed? Another thing. Great. I love those. Yes. Do I have a
It's not a shaker. It's nothing. He's holding nothing.
Am I wearing a little... Am I smart?
Because he's not a bartender.
Because I'm...
Play it calm. This man needs to understand you need a drink to...
Like what? Hey, another thing. Great. I love... Yes? Got the 20 real? Then why are you...
It's the ledger you found in the trash. Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse. Handwritten logs on dozens of investigations date back to January 51. Stamped case files. You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now. Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse. Handwritten logs on... Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, a title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from Snoop. Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse. Handwritten logs on dozens...
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene? Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had, again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. I pray his loved ones never find out. Rail spiked through the head. He died. Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes. 2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me. I prefer a normal caseload. It's a matter of method.
Like a fan of girls, the checkered pen...
Huh? Oh yes, the name. Good. What is it? Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
You don't exactly close them.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
I love you.
Fast. Oh, she is memorizing your badge.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see... What can I help you with?
How about you share your information on the lynching?
The goalposts have moved, Lieutenant. In the absence of the badge, I have informed my employer there will be a... I cannot rescind that promise. To my knowledge, the drivers are still at the roundabout. I will tell you everything I know when you've finished with them. My plan is to share information. The only way to do that now is by telling my employers you've kept your end.
which I hope you will, because let me tell you, we are in dire war.
Meaning, the information she has will raise the stakes in this game. How bad can the info she has be?
The sooner the probe is finished, the sooner I can share more lessons in basic reality. My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything. These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late. For the big time.
The smile of a predator. No doubt what she's got in mind.
The revolution. It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle. Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists, oh, and the anarchists too, they shot them well.
She likes the totality of it.
Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
This does not represent the official RCM opinion.
Don't worry. Klaus Mazov shot 15 million people in the head. Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad. I prefer the term risk-averse. Him and tens of thousands of... They are what they are. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know?
It remains a mystery what you mean by this something close. This isn't about you. It's about reality.
What I am not is a basic...
There may be a way to get her speaking about herself at some later juncture.
A bird? A sphenicid? A flightless bird of the polar regions? Some sort of krill hunter? No, wait. You're an ancient ruin. Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing games. Ah! This is the pier of Rue de Saint-Ghislaine, 33A, where the tenants have been cut or two. A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings, bâtiments. After, les bâtiments nouveaux. This one used to be 8 to 10 stories tall, a real high-rise by the standards of the last century. Built to mirror the skyscrapers across the bay in the Delta, mostly the urban middle class, I believe. This was once primo real estate, before the cannons lot splat, splat.
You could be wrong, but from here it appears as if she's running the brush.
Wonderful. The girl in the old lady rags. Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of a teen infraculture. Yes, you and I belong to the supraculture. We're common, the herd. The music on the radio, the food in the chain restaurant, those are all too popular for the girl in the... She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion, I'm afraid. There is no I can't. That's how simple it is. One may dye their hair... All right. What next?
Suddenly, you're not so sure you're part of the supraculture.
And what would that be? Ha! I can see that, yes. I dabble in those dark arts myself. not so long ago. Nothing infra about disco, baby. Those days are long behind me. And even in the early 30s, I would say I was more of a new girl. Disco was a minor, but still in the new. A cultural era. It involved lots of partying, as you might imagine, and champagne-coloured everything. By the looks of it, maximum brio, officer.
A strange coldness comes over you as you look at the world. It's on the tip of your tongue, a doubt of sorts, already in your head.
Glad to have been of assistance.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
The lieutenant is desperately searching for another handkerchief. Hatred is the woman on the boat.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her. On a first name basis with her. Our pig's not half as dumb as he looks.
Paintbrush? Check. Heavy. The paintbrush in your hand is like a loaded revolver. What will it be, Desperado? Quite a few things come to mind. You've spoken. The wall will now silently repeat the message for a decade or so, until the sea air degrades the paint.
Very poetic. Real poetry. Should we return to our murder investigation?
Why does art inspire you so much? Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory, and performative creativity. It's an expression of imagination. In short, art is the highest form of human communication. Have you looked in the mirror lately? To be honest, you have the exact features of the modern artist, with that wild hair and those clothes. Perhaps you should try to write poetry someday and critique architecture. Yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real living art here. Become the art cop. Half art critic, half cop. Exactly. It's not only your duty to only catch the criminals off. Go ahead and provide